Hour number 2 underway. Jocks 94.5, Cole Cubelic, Greg McElroy. Appreciate you guys being in. Get back to more of your feedback, more of your calls before Greg and I continue breaking down games over the weekend. 800-239-9569, 800-239-WJOX. Tweet in at Mac and Cube. You can listen to the show online, jocksfm.com. The app is in your app store, iPhone, Android. You can always download that for free. And don't forget to tell your home smart speaker to enable the Jock skill.
Bill Smith Buick GMC is the GMC Dealer of the Year, the national champion of GMC dealers. They are outstanding. I've been using them forever. I've bought 3 cars from them. I know I'll buy my next one from them as well. It's really amazing to know just how good the deals are on the lot. There's a reason why they can give deals that are better than everyone else, because they have more inventory. They have better inventory. They have more inventory, and they can do a better job for you. So go and check them out today. Go up to Coleman. Go and see them for yourself, like a GMC Sierra that's $14,500 off the sticker price. It's deals like that that keep people coming back. That's why 75% of their business is repeat customers. It's because you have a better experience when you shop with Bill Smith. To go and get a GMC Sierra 1500 SLT for $53,000, good luck finding that deal anywhere else. 8 times they've won Dealer of the Year. 8 times they've been the national champ. I bet you they'll win it again this year, too. We shall see. So go take the short drive at Coleman. You'll be glad you did. You can also shop online. Have it delivered right to your driveway at BillSmithBuickGMC.com.
All right, let's go to Rob in Hoover. Wants to talk Auburn. Welcome into the show, Rob. How you doing?
Morning, guys. It's been a minute. How you doing?
Doing great. Thanks for the call.
And I'll do another free plug for Bill Smith in my hometown of Coleman. That's a great dealership and a great town. But and Greg, you mentioned earlier on something kind of pre-COVID, post-COVID. I think a lot of people's mine included, time frame has become what happened before COVID, what happened after COVID. And thinking about the quarterback situation at Auburn, I clearly agree with you guys. Jackson Arnold's having all kind of struggles, won't go vertical, won't let go of the ball. But before Jackson Arnold, Peyton Thorne probably was not the most productive quarterback that I can remember in Auburn history. And then before Peyton Thorne, who'd we have? Cole, who was the quarterback before Peyton? I couldn't remember.
God, who was the quarterback before Peyton Thorne? Robbie Ashford?
Oh, well, I thought they were on the same team, but maybe so.
Was it not Bo Nix?
Maybe so. But then Bo transferred to but Hugh didn't coach Bo Nix.
TJ Finley.
Well, he was not the starting.
No, Finley. It was Finley and Ashford.
It was
Finley and Ashford in 22, and then it was Thorne
it was supposed to be Zach Calzada. It was supposed to be Zach Calzada.
Calzada took a couple of snaps too. But the point being, post-COVID, under Hugh Freeze, the story has been the same. The defense has got some studs that can keep us in games. But post-COVID under Freeze, the quarterback's always the problem. And Freeze was hired in large part because he was supposed to be a good quarterback coach. And this deal that we keep saying that, well, if we can just get a quarterback, he's had 5 years since COVID to get a quarterback. At what point does the buck stop with him, guys?
I mean, it's a fair point. He's selecting these quarterbacks. You know, he's going out and recruiting them, and he's bringing them in. And I mean, Greg and I talked ad nauseum in the offseason that this wasn't a finished product, and this was one that was going to have to be coached, have to be coached hard. There are a lot of things that were going to have to be coached out of him and then coached back into him, and that was not going to be easy. And it was not going to be something that, a lot of folks just think, hey, you bring him in, he's 5-star talent, you'll plug him in your system, it's going to work, it's going to be great. This wasn't going to be that. And some of the problems that you saw last year are still there. And, you just kind of wonder what is going to work? Who is going to be the guy? I don't know the answer to it, Greg, but absolutely the head coach deserves a little bit of the criticism here for the quarterbacks that he's gotten and them not working out.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. I mean, there are portions of this that fall on Hugh Freeze. Player assessment, all that stuff. Like I kind of was wanting to tell you, I don't think Peyton Thorne was that bad last year outside of the turnovers. Don't get me wrong. The turnovers are a killer, right? But there was a lot of good that Peyton Thorne did. I'm going to be very, very honest here. And frankly, like, guys make a lot of money now, players make a lot of money now, so I can't treat them like children anymore. I'm just not going to. There are plays left on the field for Auburn every single week. And Hugh Freeze, when I'm evaluating a coach, my evaluations are guys open? The answer is yes. The question is, are guys open? Are there plays there to be made?
There have been some. I mean, I wouldn't push back.
So, like, it's easy, I think, to be critical of Hugh Freeze, and this is not me, like, standing on the table defending Hugh Freeze. Like, yes, at the end of the day, you are in charge of your personnel. You are in charge of the decisions you make on guys. Like, I get that. Like, the buck stocks with the head coach. I get that. But there's only so much he can do. Like, guess what? They were in the running for John Mateer, too. And John Mateer went and followed his offensive coordinator to Oklahoma. Like, they were in the running there. Like, they tried to get him. Like, they wanted him. Like, John Mateer makes those throws. He does. And so far, it hasn't happened. Like, you think about it. If and it doesn't always just come down to one play. It doesn't. It never does. But on the deep ball to Cam Coleman against Auburn, or against Oklahoma, that Cam Coleman's, he's open by 6 yards on a double move, got exactly the coverage you want, exactly the play you want, perfect play call, perfect time, ball's overthrown. Like those are in the game of inches now, man. It's a game of inches. You gotta hit the layups, and there are a lot of missed layups, and there have been all year. And I think that Hugh Freeze he's calling it well. Like there are guys open, and that's a good defense he played this past weekend. I think that's a tough team to play against. I think that's a good defense. I really believe that. There's only so much he could do. I mean, the guy's got to make the throw, and until he does so regularly, it's going to feel really hard to be super confident in what Auburn's offense can accomplish. Am I being unfair here, Cole? Like,
you're not being unfair, but I do think there's some other parts of. I mean, it's the lack of just flat handing the football off. Like I think, and you even brought it up a little bit earlier. There's some things you could have done to ease it up on your quarterback when he's not hitting those throws. He's not making those throws, and you also coach the quarterbacks. Like, I mean, I'm not saying you're the quarterback coach in the room every day, but you brought him in and he's your guy, so that responsibility is going to fall there. I go back to some of the protection stuff that we talked about with quick routes to be able to distribute the football quickly. And it's both, honestly. I mean, in my opinion, are there some plays out there that could have been gotten? Absolutely.
No question.
And you said a little bit earlier about, players being open. I said, well, I was thinking in my head, there's also a saying that, you miss every shot you don't take. And there's a lot of shots a kid doesn't take, plain and simple. There's a lot of shots you don't have time to take. That's also fair. So, but these were the tackles you went out and got. This is a quarterback you went out and got, and there's a lot of it that for whatever reason is not working. And at the end of the day, like we talk about when players get speeding tickets or players get in trouble or guys drop passes, whatever it is, it falls on the head coach. At the end of the day, you're not winning games. And I mean, we can say what's left on the field, what's not left on the field. But there's a portion of this trend that is now beginning that is somewhat terrifying for Auburn fans. When you just go, I mean, Greg, Auburn's 3 for 28 on third down in SEC play this year. Yes. 3 for 28. And, the comeback that I've seen for that, well, look how many 3rd and 10s and 12s there are. Well, why do you think that is? Because the play calling on first and second down's elite?
It's true.
I mean, how many first down handoffs has there been? I mean, it's just.
I do think, and we've talked about this in the past, I do think a few more call it and run it's will be helpful. I do think that's something, just assessing where they can grow, assessing where they can get to. A few more call it and run it's would be helpful, as opposed to as much RPO as they have. I think it'd be helpful. I think in this game, like I'd like to see maybe a few more design quarterback runs. Like there's a few things that I would do differently for sure on 1st and 10, 2nd and 10, 2nd and 7+. Like I do think there's things they can do to help themselves out just a little bit. But at the same time, man, like there's a lot of plays left on the field. And that's the coach's job is to get guys open and to scheme guys open. And there are a lot of guys that are open when I put on the Auburn tape every week. And there are a lot of big plays left on the field every week. And that comes down to execution. And there's only so much the coach can do. It comes down to execution. They just got to execute. Guess what? We're having the same conversation about Penn State. A lot of plays left on the field. A lot of plays left on the field. The same conversation can be made today about Georgia. Plays left on the field. Guess what? Same thing can be said for Alabama. Plays left on the field. Like, you got to make those plays. And Bama won, but it could have been worse. And guess what? Georgia lost, and they could have probably won. You know, if they made the plays, they probably could have won. So I think that it's just the margins are so slim nowadays. If you're leaving plays on the field, man, it's just hard to overcome. Probably harder today to overcome than ever before. So you got to make them when they're there.
All right, let's go to Jason and Pelham. Welcome into the show, Jason. How are you?
Good. Who went out and got Jackson Arnold? Who was that?
I feel like we just said it on the show, but
pretty sure.
Yeah, I feel like we just said that. But
Well,
thanks.
I agree with Greg. There's plays out there for Auburn, but if you go get a quarterback that stinks it up and can't make the play, it's still on you. You're the coach. Bobby Petrino makes the quote "riding the hog" a nice double entendre, doesn't he?
You waited 40 minutes for that? Ugh.
Robert in Hoover. Welcome in, Robert.
Hey, good morning. Thanks for taking my call, gents. How are y'all doing?
Doing great, thank you.
Good, good. Now, both of you were great offensive players. You know, Cube, you at Auburn, and, of course, Greg, you over there in Tuscaloosa. So I'm going to ask you guys, why doesn't a quarterback throw the ball to somebody?
I think there are a lot of reasons for that, honestly.
Usually because there's nobody
how
else.
long an answer you want?
You know, short and sweet's always best, but it's usually because no one's open, right? I mean, that's the just like you did in 2009 when you got flushed out and you went hopped it down the sideline in the SEC championship. You know, you didn't have anybody throw it to you. Just
We're
like
also
with
hot. They
offensive
overloaded
line.
the protection left. I was in a jam. But, yeah, go ahead.
That's right.
Point
That's
taken.
right.
Point taken.
and you know, with offensive linemen, you know, whenever they get by you, if they're too fast for you on defense, what do, Cube? You take a couple of steps either to the right or the left so you could, you know, give yourself a little room to block them.
Grab them by the damn
that.
face mask and rip them to the ground, and then like try
You're
to
damn
roll
right.
their knee up so they can't do it the next time.
That's frowned upon, but point taken.
No.
I'm not going to hit my quarterback though.
Holding is frowned upon. Grabbing's good. You're okay to grab.
He said face mask.
But,
he said grab the face mask. That
I
part
like
of the
Rob.
body is illegal.
Rob's in my dugout over here. We're on the same team.
Hey, listen to me. It's only a penalty if you get caught. So you were
That's
good.
well said.
But
that's well said.
But again, like with Hugh down in Auburn, man, you know, unfortunately, just like winning, losing is contagious. I'm tired of damn losing. I'm tired of it. I mean, there's paid players, there's paid coaches, you know, or paid coaches, excuse me, not played. But, I mean, if you can't do the job, fire somebody and get them in there that can. You know, I know the whole thing is who you're going to hire. Well, I mean, anybody's better than what we got. Losing's losing. You know, try to find something that works. I mean, you know, make it happen. I'm just tired of losing down there. Anyway, that's all I had to say.
Answer
I
me this
appreciate it.
question.
Thank
I think you're a very level-headed Auburn fan. I think Cole is too. And look, I'm not trying to sit here and spin it. I promise you I'm not. I promise you to God I'm not. In the preseason, if we were looking at the first 5 games of the Auburn Tigers, what did you think the record was going to be?
I was hoping for at least a 500 season, but I only see us winning 2 more games, and that's Mercer. And Arkansas's questionable, and that's just because of Petrino coming in.
Yeah,
And that's my honest opinion.
I thought in all likelihood,
Couldn't tackle Taylor Green last year.
I thought Auburn's gonna be 3-2 going to the bye week. And by the way, I was probably one of the more. I still think Auburn can be a dangerous team. Like I thought they'd be 3-2 going to the bye week. They are exactly where I thought they were. Like they're exactly where I thought they were, with everything still in front of them. So like I for one am not like one of those that's sitting there saying like, all right, hey, all is lost or whatnot. Like I thought Auburn's an 8-4 football team this year, and I thought they'd be 3-2 at this point. So like I'm not that surprised with what's happened. I think it's demoralizing because the defense is better than I thought, and the offense is not as good as I thought. That is demoralizing, and I get that. But I do think this is about where I thought they'd be. So, Cole, did you think they'd be 4-1, 5-0 at this point? Because if they were, that'd be like insanely good considering how much respect I have for A&M and Oklahoma.
Yeah, but I think it's when you go back and some of the things that Rob's saying is you specifically went on in the off season and obtained players and talent at positions that were of great concern and knew that they needed to be addressed in certain ways. And some of the same things are showing up again. Indecisiveness by the quarterback. I mean, like I think a lot of the things that you're saying, Greg, that you're selling as a positive, which is fine. I think there are a lot of Auburn fans that hear that, and it's more infuriating to them than the fact that it's not working and they're losing games, because a lot of Auburn fans are sitting back saying, well, what's the difference in this story and last year's story then? Like, what's the difference? The receivers are more talented? All right, so it hurts more that we can't get the ball to them? The offensive linemen were graded higher in the portal and they still can't block, so, like, that stings worse? I mean, I don't know. But it's, revisionist history is something that I think is always going to be more painful because you've seen this story before. You've seen this happen. You've seen this not go to a bowl game. You've seen this not compete for SEC championships. So therefore, it's going to be harder to swallow, and it's going to be worse because you have an idea what's coming next. Now, you seem to feel like, maybe more so than myself and a lot of other people, that there's a lot of this that has a chance to get corrected and things could turn around. The back end of the schedule is 10 times lighter. I'm not going to pretend that it's not, outside of Alabama. But I mean, there are winnable games
for sure.
But there's a couple narratives here that I'm struggling with. The defense playing lights out, I'm sorry, but I'm not necessarily on board with it. Le'Veon Moss ran for 139 yards. I mean, the yards per carry on a large bulk of those plays was not acceptable by any stretch of the imagination. Casey Concepcion had 7 for 113. That's an elite day? Or were both offenses just somewhat inept and both defenses played? One defense played great, one defense played fairly well against an offense that couldn't do anything. Like I just didn't come out of this saying, man, I'd be scared to play against that defense. They played pretty good ball. They did. They played okay. They played fine. A couple of guys played really hard, and I commend them for their effort. Thought 17 played his rear end off. Thought 28 played as good as I've ever seen him play. 3 gave him good reps off the edge. But, I mean, I'm not going to sit here and put this up against Oklahoma's defense. Like, Oklahoma's defense is one that I see and say, they will keep them in every game, no matter what.
Yes.
But when you got guys that are going 10, 12 yards down the field before they're touched, like on a semi-regular basis, I'm not going to sit there and tell you. I mean, Reuben Owens averaged 17 yards a carry. So, I mean, no, they didn't get the ball in the end zone a lot. That's a plus. You can applaud that. It's great.
Huge plus.
But I just this like elite defensive performance, I didn't see that when I watched the film. I didn't. I saw some good plays. I saw a couple of players do some things, and I saw an offensive coordinator rededicated himself to running the football, did a nice job of being decisive of when they were going to take a play that looked the same, that was going to be kind of, I will call it a fast zone and a slow zone, and they knew how to work that back and forth. And a quarterback that was a little indecisive at times took a couple of risks on some throws that probably would like to have back. And, you made a couple stops. They tackled fairly well, but I mean, there were some things that were concerning there too. So I guess I'm just not like complete stamp of approval. Going back to what our buddy said a couple weeks ago, this is the 85 Bears. Not going to go that direction just yet. But
no, I don't think anyone has them there, but I think they're a top 15 defense.
In the SEC?
Oh, come on.
Well, they're not in total defense currently. They're not statistically, or in scoring defense.
Fine.
So,
but do you not think they're top 15 defense as far as how they've played and who they've played against?
top 25 maybe.
I think they're pretty sporty.
They're solid.
I think they're pretty good.
Solid. They're solid. They play hard.
They do.
You know, and that goes a long way. Look at Mississippi State. Those dudes play like their hair's on fire. But they got a whole team playing like their hair's on fire. And that's another thing that you kind of don't get with a lot of the guys in orange and blue right now. Not on defense, but just collectively. There's not a lot of fight in certain characters that you would like to see on a consistent basis. We'll talk more about it next. First, tell our listeners about Polar Bear Services, Greg.
Well, Wes and the guys have been to my house a million times for a million different reasons. The HVAC system is the one that they really specialize in. That's their bread and butter. That's what they started with, and that's what they've helped me out with a bunch. And as the season starts to cool off here pretty soon, hopefully, goodness gracious alive, I cannot walk outside again and continue to sweat. The good news is when I walk in my home, I'm not sweating. I'm about as comfortable as it gets. It always feels great to know that when Wes and the guys come out, they're going to take care of it. They do preventative stuff. They do a great job of making sure that your whole home's comfort system is ready to roll for whatever the temperature might be. And as it cools off, it's nice to know we can get out in front of it and make sure it's in good shape before the seasons begin to change. They also do a great job with plumbing. They've been out to my house and helped with plumbing. They've also done a great job with electrical work as well, serving all over the great state of Alabama. Remember, if you have a problem with your electrical, plumbing, heat, or air, just pick up the phone and call the Bear. It's 205-497-BEAR. That's 497-BEAR.
All right, when we come back, continue taking your feedback and getting to more on these college football games from over the weekend. Next on Jocks. Welcome back in. McElroy and Cubelic in the morning. Appreciate you guys tuning in. We'll get back to games from over the weekend. Going to go to the Higginbotham hotline now and welcome in Richard Davenport. He covers the Arkansas Razorbacks. And, Richard, when I asked you to come on yesterday, there was part of this that we wanted to discuss with you, and that's gone a little bit further today as Bobby Petrino has now made some of his own moves by ridding himself of the majority of this defensive staff. What does that say to you about where he stands with Arkansas and maybe his future as not just the interim head coach, but maybe the actual head coach?
Well, I think obviously he's trying to right the ship a little bit, and hopefully for him get the job after the season. So he's doing what he thinks he needs to do to try to get the team going in the right direction. Obviously, what happened on Saturday was a historic loss in so many ways. It was. I go back to the late 1960s, and it was one of the most dismal performances I've ever seen by a Razorback team, and a lot of that had to do with the defense, and it was pretty shocking. Don't get me wrong, Notre Dame's a good team. There's no doubt about it. But what Arkansas did on Saturday was beyond anything I've seen in a long time.
It was hard to stomach. I'm not gonna lie. It was just a glaring lack of strain, I guess, to kind of describe it. Like when you watch defenses, for example, like you just watch strain, and I didn't see it, and I'm trying to figure out why. So what happened here in the last couple weeks? Because if there's one thing, look, they might not have always had dudes, but they always played really freaking hard for Sam Pitman. What changed?
That's a good question. It really is. All I know is that the last few years, you really didn't see anything like that. I mean, for his lack of effort and heart, and only thing I can attribute it to, when you're going in the portal, you get guys, and it's a very short relationship. It's maybe a few days of talking on the phone, and then you visit them. They visit, and you get to know them that way. Obviously, you can ask some coaches, around the country about the guys and try to get some background on them, but you really don't get to know them that well. And then when they get on campus, I'm sure that they do all the right things, maybe through off season and stuff like that. But it seems like quite a few of the new transfers this year have kind of shown that their backbone's not as strong as it should be.
We're visiting with Richard Davenport. He covers the Arkansas Razorbacks, talking Sam Pitman being fired. So let's go back to just that actually taking place, Richard. Why yesterday? Because there are a lot of folks. We had Paul Feinbaum on earlier. He said he probably shouldn't have come back this year in general. You go down to Memphis the week before with an unthinkable way of dropping that game. Obviously, as you stated, this one historic for many of the wrong reasons. But why wait until now? And if you did wait until now, why did this seem to be the right time to make this move?
Well, obviously the last two games prior to the Notre Dame game, you fumbled the ball, last minute or so, and you had a chance to win both. And Arkansas was 1-6 last year when they lost the turnover margin, and obviously that was the big thing with the last two games. And you still saw some hope. You still saw a glimmer of hope that maybe they can right the ship a little bit and quit turning over the ball and quit making mistakes here or there for its penalties. But I think it was just obviously what happened on Saturday, and then with the open date, it was just a good time to make that decision. But why didn't it happen earlier, or why did he come back? Some of it has to do with the money situation. You're already paying a little bit of. You're paying Chad Morris still, and you just had finished paying off Brett Bielema, and then the the money just wasn't there. Or it could have been there, but I think they were hoping that they could get through this year and see what happens. And a lot of it is I think part of the reason why they held on is because the NIL situation has not been what it should be. There's a lot of reasons that go into that, but Arkansas is probably the lower tier of the SEC and NIL money, and that definitely, in fact, impacted the recruiting, your ability to recruit in the transfer portal. So I think Hunter was thinking, well, he really hasn't had a fair shot, at least from an NIL situation, and hopefully we can get through this season, and with the House settlement, maybe things even out. So that was the thinking that I kind of gathered.
And what do you think this means moving forward? I mean, is it Bobby Petrino's job to lose at this point? Because it certainly seems like while there will be suitors and people in pursuit of this opportunity, it does seem like the Arkansas faithful are very much on board with Bobby Petrino being the guy.
I think he'll have to win. Obviously, when you got 7 games left. He had several games left. He has to win 3 or 4. I would imagine to have a chance to keep the job. There was, the chancellor had to approve the hiring because of the situation the first time, how it went down as far as him getting fired. So there was some fans, and still some fans now, that didn't believe that he should have been rehired. He was a popular hire overall, though. There's no doubt about that. But I think some people think that at the end of the season, a good portion of the fan base thinks that they should go in a different direction and start fresh. Whether or not he keeps the job or not, obviously depends on what happens the rest of the season.
Richard Davenport is with us talking Arkansas. I'm going to ask you this question that I saw Pat Forty throw out earlier today, and his headline read, first quarter on Arkansas's remarkable tolerance for Bobby Petrino. Why do you think there is that?
Well, I mean, when he was here, Arkansas finished number 5 in the country, and after the 2011 season, that was one of the best seasons Arkansas has had in quite some time. Houston had success, but didn't finish as high in the rankings when he was here. And then that was really the last time that Arkansas had seen the top 10 as far as the final rankings in quite some time, and he won at a pretty high level, especially the last couple of years. And the first BCS game against Ohio State in the Sugar Bowl the year before. So the fans, remember that and appreciate Bobby for that those years that he was there. So the fan base overall has a good opinion of Bobby Petrino, and understand that others don't, but the fan base remembers what he did while he was here the first time.
And what do you think he needs to do in the next 7 games to secure the job?
Yeah, I think 3 or 4 games to win. I mean, obviously that seems like a tall order right now after what you saw on Saturday. But I think he'd have to win at least 3 games to be considered. But at the same time, I know there's you got Rhett Lashley, who's from Northwest Arkansas, who definitely has a following, in the state, and I'm sure that there'll be a push for him and some other people also. So we'll see what happens, but I think he has to win a minimum of 3 games. That's just me off the top of my head.
If you were to throw any other candidates out, Richard, who might they be outside of Rhett Lashley and Bobby Petrino?
I think Barry Odom. Obviously, what he did at UNLV was impressive. I think he's one to keep an eye on. He's very fond of Arkansas. He's stated that many times. He still has a home in Fayetteville. You know, there's several others off the top of my head. I don't have a list in front of me, but I know Barry would be one.
Yeah.
Dow Loggins at Appalachian State, but this year's his first year being a head coach. But he would be one definitely in the future. Maybe not now, but one in the future because he's a former Razorback, and he's always said he always wanted to be the head coach here.
Well, Richard, we appreciate the time today, helping bring some clarity to this situation there in Fayetteville. Look forward to catching up with you again soon. Thanks for hopping on.
All right, guys, take care.
All right, Richard Davenport there covers the Arkansas Razorbacks, does a good job with it, and some interesting thoughts, just kind of where this thing may go, what this thing might turn into. Follow him at AR Recruiting Guy and find his work at the Arkansas Democrat Gazette and Whole Hog Sports. So we'll kind of move on from that. We got to get back to some of the games from over the weekend, discuss kind of what happened, how they went, what we liked, what we didn't like. I'll tell you about your CBD store first. If you have arthritis or anxiety, your CBD store wants to help. If your pet has arthritis or anxiety, they want to help you with that as well. It's the largest brick-and-mortar CBD retailer in the world. If it's products for better sleep, if it's products to make you get up a little bit more energy in the morning, better focus throughout the course of the day, skincare, gut health, and more, your CBD store wants to help you. Lion's Mane products now in at one of their 3 locations: Highway 280 by Bailey Brothers, 150 by the Cajun Cleaver, Trustful just off 459. The Trim by Sunmed for weight loss also in stock now at your CBD store, where good health hits home. All right, we'll be back to discuss a couple of other games from over the weekend next on Jocks. All right, I appreciate Richard Davenport hopping in to help go through a little bit of the Sam Pittman firing at Auburn. So you look at the SEC right now, Greg. How many new coaches do you think we're going to have in the league when we start next season?
Ooh, that's a good question.
I'm not asking you for names. Don't have
No.
to give me names, but just how many new head coaches do you think we will have? Over, under 2.5?
Over.
Yeah, I would probably go with you there. I think I'd be on the same page as that one. All right, let's go back to Alabama and Georgia.
I'm going to put how about I put it at 4.5?
I probably have to go under there just because of where we are in college football, and I don't know if that many teams are in a position to be able to pull the trigger right now, especially with a little bit of uncertainty of kind of where we're headed.
Sure.
I'm trying to see, like, we think Florida's going to happen. Arkansas's already happened, so that's essentially 2 that are going to be on the board. I mean, I think people are going to say that Auburn is going to be on the chopping block if things don't continue to go well. And I'm assuming you're thinking Kentucky is going to be another one that people look at. Who else is
Probably.
potentially making a move?
So
Unless you're saying there's somebody who's going to leave for a different or better job.
There you go.
Oh, so gotcha. Okay. I don't think that one's changing. I'm going to tell you that. I don't think it's changing. That's just me, though. I think that one's
I'm just saying, I think when push comes to shove, I think the number's a lot more likely to be 4 than it is to be 2.
Okay. Understood. I do want to go back to Alabama, Georgia for a moment. And you brought up Ty Simpson and how good of a game you thought he had. There are a couple of things, Greg, that I was just really impressed with from him. You could watch that stripe on his helmet from behind and see him look off a couple of defenders and then fit some balls into some really tight windows. And the thing that I love about Ty Simpson is everything appears to be deliberate. He knows when to get it out. When he comes off a bootleg, if that tight end's open right now on that little drag, he gets it out quick. Like, there's no hesitating, waiting. Let's see, let's run to the sideline and then do something at the last second. Like, hey, take what we got now and just let it go, and then we'll move on from there. Down near the goal line, call rollout, tuck the ball, run, go. The C parts up front in protection, eyes come down, see that, tuck ball, go. Don't need to wait to see if other routes develop. Like, go get yards now. And to me, that's the most impressive part about what Ty Simpson's doing is he is making quick decisions, and oftentimes he's making I mean, he had a couple throws that I know he'd like to have back. At least one had an opportunity to be intercepted. It wasn't. But, man, he seems like he's making good decisions, and he's making them very quickly.
I think he's been outstanding. I mean, so much command. He's throwing the ball with such conviction. Like, you watch how when he releases the ball, like he knows exactly where it's going, and he drives it. He anchors that back leg, and he drives the ball. And by the way, I'm watching quarterback play all over the place. Do me a favor, Cole, and I know you haven't watched it yet, but at some point, go watch the Penn State-Oregon game. Look at how many times Drew Aller's throwing it off his back foot. I mean, it's probably, gosh, I counted 8. And that was being, like, probably, I don't know, generous. I mean, 8 different times he's throwing off his back foot. Like, when Ty throws it, he is unleashing it. And he's got plenty of arm. It's a joy to watch. He is really, really playing good football right now. I'm very proud of him. And this is what happens when you are empowered. This is what happens when you are said, dude, you're the man. Go do it. You can do this. You're the man. Go do it. His level of focus and intensity, and after touchdowns, first thing he's doing is going and finding teammates. First thing he's doing is going and tapping the helmet. I mean, yes, gives a little hush sign, but like everyone is going and celebrating together, and I don't see smiles. I'm like, hey, next play, next play. Like he's on a mission. I'm really proud of him. I really am. And we said it at the beginning of the year. Anyone that said that Ty Simpson was the problem, we're like, dude, I'm telling you, it's not. He is gonna be just fine, and he is playing far better than I could have anticipated through 4 games. He is in a great spot, and he is continued to be focused. And I think as a result, the offense is really following it. He's developed into an outstanding leader as well. It's very obvious how the guys react to him, how immediately all the guys are running right to him. Like he's rallying the troops. He's delivering the pregame speech. Like he's exactly what we always thought he would be. Because it's never been about the talent. It's been everything else. And, man, it's been fun to watch. I'm really happy for him.
Yeah, the one ball up the left sideline where, I mean, he kind of had to wait and see if the corner was going to hang, and fits it in before the safety gets there. I mean, he showed you some velocity.
He saw it so early, like early from we're talking about early, like that third down on the left sideline. That was great vision.
I mean, his first third down throws, if you go by just the Alabama plays, play 6, play 9, play 18, 3rd and 10, 3rd and 5, 3rd and 7. I thought maybe his 3 best throws of the game. Yeah. And those are pressure-packed throws, man, on the road, third down early. Like, can't give momentum to that defense and let them start teeing off on you and letting them think they've got your number. And he just shut the defense up, shut the defense up, shut the defense up. And you're just kind of like, yeah, this kid, he's not rattled. He's not scared. He's not worried about it. And it was just a lot of trust in what he was doing. The most impressive throw that I thought he had was not that throw. And once again, I don't know this stuff like you do, but I think I know what I'm looking at a lot of the times. And so
you know what you're looking at.
I like to pretend like I have a pretty good idea of like how the quarterback operates at certain points in time. But again, it's fun watching Alabama play sometimes because it's just the one white stripe on the helmet, and so you can really get an idea like where the quarterback's looking. Some helmets don't really allow you to do that, and you can't really tell. It's not as deliberate or as easy. Let me see if this is it. It may be play 9. And he actually, if this is it, he checks something and gets to it. Okay, play 9 is the one up the sideline to 1 that I was referencing. Amazing. So it'll be play 18. Go to, I'll tell you where it was, 5:23 in the first quarter. I thought this was by far his best throw of the game. And, okay, that's one where he steps up in the pocket. Never mind. That was nice too, but that's not the one I'm talking about.
5:23 first quarter.
Yeah, that's the one over the middle field to the tight end. Yeah, that's not it, though. Now go to 1:05 in the first. See if this is it. This is it. This is it right here. Coming off play action, first off, under center, turns back to defense. All right, comes back.
The throw to Lottie.
That little hook defender right there, 19. Watch him look him off to the left. He gets one step from that defender, and he throws it to the spot where the receiver's going. Not to the receiver. He throws it to where he knows he's going to be. Bam. And then he rips that ball too. He
rips it.
That's big time quarterback play in my opinion right there. You may think different, but to come out of that fake, know you got zone coverage, look the defender off to the left to get him to just drift to the left a little bit, and he knows that opens up space, doesn't even hesitate, and puts that ball underneath the deep safety where he's like, we got him. That's, I mean, just the ultimate confidence right there from that kid. And I was like, I saw that throw,
much confidence.
And I was like, yeah, he's good. Like he's got it going. So we'll talk a little bit more about.
Let me tell you the one that I loved more than any. Third down, late in the game. It's a tough spot. I mean, like this point, we're approaching gotta have it mode. I mean, like this is, hey, we can close this sucker out. And this is on us. Like we gotta hit it. Like, this is big because there's a lot of momentum on the other side. And this is going to be one where we gotta fit it, and it's going to be tight, and it's going to be uncomfortable, and it's a tough throw. I think it was the throw to Ryan Williams on the 3rd and 8 to the left-hand side. Like, and he just fits it on a little loop wheel. And Ryan Williams does a great job of kind of settling in there for him. And there wasn't a whole lot of room. There wasn't a lot of time on that throw. And he had to uncork it. And man, he threw a dart. I mean, just put it right on his body, painted it right on him, and it was a thing of beauty. I mean, I think he's really playing confident football right now. It's very fun to watch. He deserves immense credit. And I don't think at this point there's a lot of guys in the country. It was, I mean, you're backed up. It's 3rd and 8. There is fourth quarter, 12:46 remaining. It's 24-21. You don't get this. Georgia's getting the ball back at midfield. I mean, this is a big play. And boom, you get the little loop wheel. You see that corner getting a little too much depth. You just paint it right on him right before Ryan Williams gets his clock cleaned. And a great job by Ryan Williams, who has taken some heat from us and from others, and understandably, like, that was a big-time catch. Yeah. And that was not an easy one to reel in, but he made it easier because he put it right on his body, bodied him up, and allowed Ryan Williams to kind of collect his body and absorb the hit without the ball getting jarred loose.
Yeah, we'll continue that
big time.
Yeah, we'll keep talking about it next on the other side right here on Jocks. All right, welcome back in. McElroy and Cubelic in the morning. Appreciate you guys tuning in. 800-239-9569. You want to get in. We'll talk more Alabama on the other side, more Auburn on the other side, go through the SEC. Greg's game was interesting. My game was interesting. A couple others in the league, Tennessee and Mississippi State. Intriguing game. Vandy looks good again. What does that mean for the Alabama matchup coming up this weekend? But it's that season when you be running the AC during the day and the heat at night. That stress on your home comfort system is why you need a Train. They've been named America's most trusted brand 11 consecutive years, so you know you can count on the reliability of a Train to keep your home and family comfortable for years to come. Find out more at train.com. It's hard to stop a Train. Were you surprised by a lot of your game, LSU Ole Miss, and kind of how it went?
Yeah, I was a little surprised that they were as good on offense. Yeah, I thought they'd be able to move the ball some. I didn't think they would be able to hold up and run the ball as effectively as they did. So yeah, that kind of surprised me a little bit. Man, they've been outstanding.
I'll tell you what surprised me about that game. And it was ultimately at the end of the day how Ole Miss won the football game and what was most responsible for them getting that win. I'll tell you what that is on the other side. Greg will tell you what the atmosphere was like being there. And then how real are the LSU problems? Mainly on offense. We know the defense doesn't have a ton of problems. They had some tough sledding this weekend, but you give Ole Miss some credit. They also just made some plays in that game. But we'll discuss all of it, give you the new AP poll, and more on the other side. Keep it locked for more college football conversation right here on Jocks 94.5.